Hello, everyone. Welcome to Dropped Frames, the first one of 2019. Zeke, what are you laughing at? I'm going to call you out. What's jokey here?
Oh, I don't know if you. I didn't know if you heard my me opening my my breakfast.
Oh no, I did not. What are you eating? What's breakfast?
Okay. Breakfast is an energy drink.
Well, that's Chef Day Streamer right there. That sounds about accurate.
About right. Yep.
Yeah, it's about right. It's about right. What episode are we on?
Today is 6437, I think.
6437. I thought we hit the 7K recently. We might have to.
We may have.
We may have.
Sometimes
But, you know,
we
jumped to
very
the
similar, show Doctor Who, where you don't really know where we are in time. Whenever we do it, we jump around a little bit. So
yeah, every once in a while we'll jump in the time machine and circle back.
That being said, very excited to talk about the Fallout 4 release this week. Should be a lot of fun.
Yeah, me too.
Absolutely.
Me too. Should be good. Yeah, good. It's not as good as Fallout 5 though that we have in our time. So
that's true.
I actually like that one, believe it or not. So
yeah, I was surprised.
I'm really enjoying the Chumbawamba comeback tour.
Really? Yeah,
it's been great.
He finally didn't get up. Yeah, it's a sad song. He just didn't get back up after he yeah.
I get knocked down and I don't get up because fuck it. Why bother?
I actually have tickets to see them this Friday after Infinity War 7. So that'll be good.
Nice. Yeah. I'm excited. We'll see. It should be all right. Anyways, today's going to be an interesting show. Me and Zeke were talking about it. What we have to talk about. We've all been playing old games. I've been playing like old JRPGs. Go's been playing Kingdom Hearts, and Zeke's been playing old PC games. So I guess we're having a retro-ish show today, because it's the beginning of January. This is basically the dead zone for streamers. It's the same thing kind of every year. No publisher wants to put out a game the first couple of weeks of January because they already spent all their marketing money in December. So it just makes no sense. That's how it goes. That's the business.
Well, they want to make the top 10 of the year list,
right?
And if you put out a game in January and February, you're not going to be fresh on anybody's mind. You're going to be forgotten.
yeah, it's right. It has to be like a Monster. I guess Monster Hunter World came out at the end of February last year. February, January. I think it was February. I forget. It's been too long. Let's not talk about 2018 because it's the new year. It's new year, new show.
When did God of War come out?
In 2018.
Thanks.
I gave you an answer. It wasn't the one you wanted, but at least I got you.
Yeah.
We'll also talk about some games that we played during December that we haven't. Do what? Oh, it was April when it came out. Nice. Wait, did that come out on 420?
But I'm saying like January, February. That's 2 months after. That's like the end of Q1, isn't it? The beginning of Q2.
Yeah, Q1 is April. Q2. Sorry, Q4.
Yeah, I was gonna say Q2 is I think like late March. So January, January is very rare for what the reasons JP just mentioned. But February is generally when it starts picking up because that's kind of like getting outside of that Christmas season, and that's one of the reasons we have a bunch of huge releases coming out in February this time. Anthem got bumped up a week. Metro got bumped up a week. We still got a bunch of games coming out on the 22nd, I think. So, yeah, and I should say Anthem didn't get bumped up a week, but they're allowing Origin early access a week early now.
Yeah. Kind of off topic, but not too much. Are you guys gonna check? Or either of you planning to check the like VIP beta or whatever that's happening at the end of this month for Anthem out? Or are you just gonna go into the release completely?
I think
blind?
I'm just gonna go into release. To be honest, they've to their credit, they've been releasing a lot of good videos lately, kind of showcasing the different classes, like 50-minute gameplay things. And I got to admit, man, I saw the 15-minute gameplay video for the Storm class, the kind of hovery, floaty caster class. That should look pretty fun to play. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. It felt a little weird just saying it right then, but like it looked pretty damn cool. Like the combos that he was doing and how quick the actions were and how all of the abilities he was using really had weight to them. So like he would pick an AoE point on the ground and he would cast this kind of like lightning storm effect, and the entire area would change. Like it would get darker everywhere, but the effect was red lights bouncing off everything. This huge bolt of lightning comes down. The screen starts shaking all over the place. and he would do that like once every 10 or 15 seconds. Like it looked pretty visceral. It was pretty good. It looked pretty cool.
I know a lot of people are saying in like the closed thing that they did, a lot of the NDA breakers, I think, because it was all under NDA, were saying the controls were a little iffy, at least on the PC. So I don't know if that
floating?
was... Maybe, yeah. I didn't get too far into reading. I stopped at iffy because I was like, all right, well, hopefully that's fixed. This is actually from the NVIDIA keynote at CES like 2 or 3 days ago because they're doing some RTX stuff with it. But it's a pretty looking game. I'll say that much. Like, this looks really good graphically. I just don't know if the actual game's going to play, right? So that's always the question.
I'm looking forward to it for a good 10 to 15 hours at least.
Yeah. I hope more. I hope I get.
Yeah.
I hope it's what Monster Hunter was for me last year, but that's a tall order. That's a 100-hour plus thing.
Yeah, I got to admit, it's going to be really interesting to see like what the developers are planning for an average run. Like when you talk about Destiny 2, you know, an average run is like 15 to 20 hours. You get through pretty much all the story stuff. You've done PvP a few times, and anything past that point, you're like either doing stuff you've already done a bunch of times to grind gear, or you're going for late game rating, which is of course a large majority of the Destiny community. But you know, just as we all know, the larger majority of any game is casual, kind of like one time through type of play.
Yep.
So it's going to be really interesting to see with Anthem. You know, are we going to see the same kind of 15, 20-hour Destiny 2 style story mode and then a whole bunch of repetitive stuff on top of it? Or are they going to BioWare it? And are we going to see like a 40 or 50-hour actually fleshed out like game, you know, like something serious and big? That's my kind of side hope for Anthem. Because I'm kind of hoping that BioWare has a curveball in there somewhere that's going to kind of like separate it from the pack. Probably a little optimistic, but we'll have to see.
Bob Poggers from JPNN is reporting in the chat that they're using a PoE loot system for Anthem, apparently, which is first I've heard of that. So,
like prefix suffix? Like what exactly?
I don't know what that. I think maybe like the whole currency is the items that you pick up type deal, which would be kind of cool. And then you can trade that or something. I don't know. That's first I've heard of that. So Bob Poggers, you know, he could sometimes be a little bit loose with the news. So we'll see.
Is that his tagline? Bob Poggers, I'm loose with the noose.
Yes, that's actually it. That's 100% it. Yeah, put it on a shirt. That's what it is.
Dude, I'm super excited. I'm really excited for this because I've been looking for. Like I didn't get into Destiny 2. I didn't get into any of the expansions or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Because
you tried.
What's that?
I was gonna say, and you tried. Like
I did. I mean, I picked it up and I played it. It didn't hook me like Destiny did the first time. I'm really hoping that this does because, God damn, I need something to take me away from Magic.
Yeah, we were talking about that yesterday. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, we. I mean, I don't know if now's the time, but like,
did you stream it?
You know what? Let's talk about Anthem. It's like, let's be hopeful. Let's not be cynical.
Okay.
Let's say that it's going to be exactly what we want, and it's going to be awesome.
Okay. All right.
It's going to surprise everybody because I don't think.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody expects us to do well, and I think, in fact, a lot of people are actively rooting against it to do well.
Yeah, it's a weird. Yeah, that's kind of a weird thing. I feel like everyone's, and this is something that we've also pushed, but everyone's so jaded now when games come out because they're like, well, this is good. They got to prove to me that this is a good game. It's like, well, yeah, that's the whole point of a game releasing. You can form an opinion, but I think that kind of started with a lot of streamer influence there as well, where it's like, oh, this is going to suck. It's going to be trash.
Well, and looking at some of the comments in chat, like they're so like obstinate. They're so sure it's going to suck that they don't want to like it. Like, fuck you. Do you play video games? Do you like video games? Are you sure?
Are you me? Come on now.
Check that fucking attitude. Like, don't go into it like wanting to hate it. Okay? Don't be a fucking edgelord douchebag and just assume that you're not going. I hate that attitude. I hate that the pessimistic, contrarian attitude. Like, this is gonna be shit. And then you play it, you're like, it's totally shit. And you don't allow yourself to like it. I fucking hate that.
There is, I think that is a thing, but go ahead, Co.
I gotta say, I see where you're coming from, Zeke, but I think most of it is actually like the opposite of jaded. Like when you think about someone getting jaded, it's that they've been encountering the same, like, let's say like okay or decent thing over and over and over, and then it just loses what makes it special. Well, we're kind of in the opposite boat right now, where a lot of us have wanted to get good games for a long time, but we just keep getting these subpar releases over and over and over and over, and big franchises failing due to dumb reasons like cash shops. And like, I think it's to the point now where people are just, they're expecting issues. They're expecting something to go wrong. So it's not necessarily that they want to dislike the game. It's that they're going to be pleasantly surprised if they don't. It's good, or they'll be pleasantly surprised if they don't dislike it. Like it's good, like, oh, this is actually good. You know, like that's how I feel a lot about it.
I can understand that. Like it's like being a jaded lover. You know, like it's something like they've let you down so many times. It's okay. Well, I can see that point of view.
First of all, and I'm not disagreeing with you, because all the actions that you're saying is exactly what people like me in some cases as well also take. But the part that makes it so unfortunate is like the decks are so stacked against games like Anthem these days that even if it's decent, people are going to be having that negative rose poop tinted glasses, and they're going to be like, oh, well, it's not great. So, you know, and it's kind of unfortunate. It's like there's been so many negative releases that now the expectations have been lowered so much that even good games are just kind of like that much lower. I don't know. Whole thing is just
yeah. I don't really have too much to add. I agree. We'll see what I think. Also, when you attach EA to anything, people are maybe like, hold on now, what are this? What's going on? How are they going to fuck this up? That's what a lot of people worry about.
Exactly. How is this going to be a problem?
Yeah.
How about on the other side? Like, can we point to like what's the best thing EA ever did?
A lot of the stuff
20 years ago.
Yeah, well, recently a lot of the stuff. I
love that. Just like,
a lot of stuff that EA's done recently, they've just bought good IPs, and then the next thing to come out of that IP is usually not the best part of it. And so, like, I'm trying to think back, what's the best thing that EA's done? And
people are saying Dead Space and Mass Effect.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Dead Space. Dead Space was pretty great. Dead Space was pretty great.
Yeah, that was a long time ago, right? When did the last Dead Space come out?
Long time ago. Dead Space 3 was a while back. Oh, that's right. I mean, I know a lot of people liked Way Out. Didn't they do stuff with the Way Out?
Oh, yeah, that was
the Way Out
okay.
was
EA.
Okay. Yeah, that was their indie darling.
Their indie thing.
Yeah.
Which is about like as far from EA as you can get. That's like, I guess we'll touch you with our magic EA wand.
Yeah.
But then we'll just kind of let you do your own thing.
I mean, they did bring the Merovingian to life with their CEO every E3. So it's nice to see the cosplay efforts out there from the Matrix.
Sure.
Yeah. With
Titanfall 2 was okay. Titanfall 2 had an amazing single player campaign. Kind of wish it was like 3 times longer in a standalone. But yeah, Titanfall 2
I never played that.
Titanfall 2 is real good. Oh yeah.
Dude, Titanfall 2 main stories, you could beginning to end in a single cast if you wanted to.
Right.
Like,
and you guys, I remember you guys talking about it. Isn't it the one where like it's super like fun to move around and you okay.
It's
really I never never picked it up.
Yeah, it's worth it.
Check it out sometime.
Matthew Mercer is the voice actor for that, isn't it? Or isn't he?
Well, then I'm never playing it. That's why probably I didn't pick it up.
Yeah.
I actually have,
because Matt Mercer voiced one of those guys, and I'd never want to hear his voice in anything ever again.
Yeah, I mean that happens. Co, me and you have the helmet for that, right? Is that what you were just looking at?
Oh yeah.
No, that giant ass box has been in the basement since I moved here, just staring at me every time I walk by it. So that's what here's what I want from game companies in 2019. Stop releasing giant ass fucking collector's edition shit that just sits in my basement in the biggest box possible. I've got Recore, I've got Titanfall, I've got, I don't know, 2 or 3 others that are just fucking huge. It's like,
are you saying that because you want the companies to help you help yourself?
What?
Yeah.
Like, did either of you get the Darksiders 3 collector's edition?
No, I did not get that because I saw how big it was. Yeah, I know it's
Ooh,
stupid.
that's a big regret. It's like I got the Darksiders 3.
It's bigger than you think.
Collector's edition.
Wait till Co shows it on stream because look at this thing. This is the box. It's fucking huge.
Yeah.
Did they?
Did
they
they
give
ship
you a whip or something?
It's like 4 collectible like
Oh.
statues, like back to back. Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Oh,
Yeah, and then a whole bunch of other stuff too. This thing is just, yeah, it's massive. It's like almost tall.
is that all the? Is that the 4 Horsemen and Fury?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I thought when he first brought it over, it was a casket for the game because it was, dead on arrival. That's an easy joke. That's an easy joke.
I can't like.
Yeah.
There you go. Let's high five through Co.
Okay. All right. There we go. High five.
He made a good joke. There you go.
Oh,
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's an actual horse. They shipped you a mini horse inside the box. Exactly. I like that.
Pretty much.
Maybe that actually be a good topic to discuss, since this is like we're starting the year again, and maybe we should talk about what we hope for, like we want to see in 2019. And it doesn't have to be just video games, like Twitch changes or that kind of stuff. And I mean, I can even start like January cumulative sub badges. Anybody have any fucking idea
Of
like,
when it's coming?
Now,
yeah,
when
January
we
they
talked
said
to them at TwitchCon, they said they wanted to have all of the things that they announced at the TwitchCon town hall by the end of Q1 2019. So just so people are clear,
So,
they're still in their window. Yeah, they are not late on delivering cumulative subs yet. I think a lot of people
thought they
thought
said
they were going to be a lot earlier. No, I'm pretty sure they said into Q1.
I'll look
think.
it up while you're talking.
We'll have to check that.
Really? Okay,
Yeah,
because
I thought they
I
said it's
was
Q1.
under the impression of January, and I might have been spreading that, and it might have like, no, I'm serious. Like, I might be responsible for spreading like false information, and I apologize for that. If
It's so strange.
but for
I don't think
some
that's
reason,
done.
I remember January. I love that dude Frozen. January just started though. What? It did? The fuck? It's not the end of January.
We'll see.
No, I'm not saying they don't have time. I'm just saying like,
Check our group chat real quick.
okay.
On their Twitter post, they're not saying when.
Okay. No, I must have misheard then. I must be hopeful or something.
We'll just have to see.
Yeah.
Goth's been saying January too. Yeah. I think maybe people are just hopeful. But yeah, I think that'd be cool. I am curious though. Are you wanting it, Zeke? And maybe you shouldn't answer this publicly, but are you wanting it for the sheer, like what's the purpose of you wanting it? I guess is how I'm going to phrase this question. What do you want why do you want that so bad? Just to finally have it, just so it's out there?
For my subs, for the people I know
Yeah.
who have had a cumulative amount of time subbing to me that is longer than what it says. Also,
Okay.
it would help me to recognize them in chat with the different badges. So I know like this person has been here long enough so I can insult them on this scale. You know, like the longer you have been in my channel, the more deeply and hurtful I can insult you, and you will understand and forgive me because that's how my fucking channel works.
It's Zeke's tolerance indicator is what it is. He gets to know how, like, it's like a little HP bar of how much he can attack his viewers before they're just
Exactly.
like, I'm out of this. Screw this.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
true.
if you're a non-sub, like, and never been subbed, like, you're just getting like I fucked your mom or your sister jokes. That's like all you're getting.
Yeah.
Like that's like you're getting the surface level insult.
Uh-huh.
Like you're not getting any effort. But you've been there 3 or 4 years. Like I'm digging into your past. I'm looking you up on Facebook.
You're bringing
I'm
up
finding
chat
shit-
logs.
finding shit about you. Yeah, like
You're doing some
like
deep,
I heard your
deep
Auntie
research.
Rose twisted her ankle last week. I bet she did that tripping on her way to the fucking casino because she's got a gambling problem. Woo! You know, stuff like that.
Sure. Do you think that there's going to be, both in a good and bad way, any like financial uptick or downtick from cumulative subs?
Yes, that's the unfortunate reality of this. It's going to be a plus minus.
Yeah,
it's going to be a plus to quality community interaction. There are a massive amount of people that have PM'd me, and I'm sure both of you get these PMs as well, where it's the kind of thing where it's like, hey, I'm really sorry I can't sub this month. I'm a long-term sub and I'm a big part of your community. Don't worry, I won't talk in chat. Or I'm not going to participate as much because I feel bad. Like there are people out there that legitimately feel strong negative emotions about themselves if they can't keep their sub up.
Right.
That is bullshit. And that streak system basically ties right into that. So it's basically going to be like when somebody, the way that it always should have been, and thankfully we're moving towards this direction, is if someone supports the channel, that support is permanent. If someone is a 6-month sub, they will always have spent that sub for 6 months, and then you should never take that from them. If they miss a month, that doesn't mean they didn't sub for 6 months. So right now with cumulative subs, we're keeping that, and that's great. And honestly, I still don't know if we've gotten a direct answer yet on sub badges. If sub badges are going to be based on streak or cumulative.
That's what I was about to ask.
Yeah, but being able to fundamentally acknowledge and appreciate viewers for all the support they've given, regardless if it's in a streak, I think is going to be an overall positive. But at that same line, there are definitely long-term subs that have said to me verbatim, hey, it's pretty rough this month, but I want to keep my streak up. And it's like, you know, I don't know how we're supposed to feel about that, because it's like, that's great you're wanting to support us, but if it ever puts you in even the slightest of tight situations, you shouldn't even consider throwing money at a streamer.
Oh, like don't do it. Don't do it. Right.
Yes.
I knew that. Well, I knew I was wrong when I said it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so and it this is going to hopefully alleviate some of that feelings. And the more of that kind of stuff we can alleviate, the more people can just come in our channels, enjoy our content, and have a good time chatting with their friends. So
yeah. Alternatively, well, maybe not even alternatively, but I also hope that, just kind of like how they patched in this thing where if you click on someone in chat now, and people have had this on Better Twitch TV for the longest time, but you can actually see how long someone's been following your channel. If you don't have that, I hope that if someone's been subbed for, I don't know, let's say 13 months to your channel, and they're no longer subbed, I hope there's some way to see that they have been subbed for 13 months, because the badge won't be there unless it's an active sub, right? That's my understanding. So if they're not an active sub, how do I know if they've been subbed at all, or for 13 months, etc.?
Well, and another interesting thing, and I've tweeted about this a few times over the last half year to Twitch, and nothing's really happened, and it would take a lot to happen. But one of the things that I've wanted to see Twitch do is basically remove bit badges and implement like support badges. So in other words, like 1 bit would be 1 support point. 1 gifted sub would be 500 support points. You know, and then 1 sub might be 500 support points. And then that badge would never disappear. So it would only and always go up. And that way, even if someone's not subbed, you could still see, you could mouse over their support badge and you could see 1,000 bits cheered, 5 gifted subs, and 12 months of sub. And even if they weren't subbed, you would see that right next to their name the whole time. And of course, this would mean you would get rid of bit badges. So bit badges would then become support badges.
Yeah.
And then maybe even you go as far as removing sub badges from your channel.
Right,
so
and it all just becomes
support
badges, and it's all everything's a part of that bigger number. Yeah, I mean that's
exactly.
Well, they're probably going to have to do
any type of support to the channel would then you would always see next to their names.
There's so many systems that I think they're going to have to do that eventually.
Well, they already have the ability to show minutes watched, like, and they show like what's your average like retention and that kind of shit.
Yeah,
I would like to see that for people who don't sub and have never subbed. I would love to give them an option to have a minutes watched graduating badge. Like this is how long I've watched Z, or I mean, at least, you know, I guess left the channel open or whatever.
How much is played to that IP or that account? Yeah. Yeah,
but
I don't know if that
I
necessarily.
like that. I like that idea. So someone who has never subbed and can't sub or can't afford to or whatever.
I like that, but I
never
only
been
like
gifted
that.
one.
That's basically my token system. But yeah,
Yeah,
and then a lot
yeah.
of people have like currency systems.
Well, and again, I like that idea, but I like it only so that the streamer can see it, not so the audience can see it. Because then you're just gonna have people, which sure this benefits you in the long term, but you'll just have people that are constantly, idling the channel 24 hours a day, or whenever, even if they're not at home, which benefits the streamer, like I said. But then that number starts to mean less.
But isn't that what like Co does? Like,
Right.
aren't there people who leave your stream open all the time for that reason?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's one of the reasons I made the system.
Right. I'm just saying I want that to not be public facing, but that's on my channel, not for every other channel, so to speak.
So
I think
you're
it's
just talking
great.
about the badge. You don't want the badge public facing.
Yeah. Ultimately.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyways, aside from, anything else besides like cumulative badges and somehow bringing all this under one system, is there anything else that would be of interest to you from like the Twitch side of things that you'd want to see this year? Because I think either a higher bit rate or some way to actually like stream higher quality would be something I'm into. Granted, I don't know if that's even something that's feasible because higher bit rates are so expensive, but
By the way, thank you, Little Dark Son, in my chat. Apparently, on the TwitchCon blog, they say subscription badges will now show the total number of months, and the update is coming in January.
oh,
Okay.
okay.
Thanks for that, bud.
I knew I
go.
heard it somewhere. How old is that?
This is
Never
from
mind.
the TwitchCon keynote blog post.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So
okay.
around TwitchCon. Cool.
I knew I was right. Damn it. What were you saying, JP?
Just better quality streams ultimately is what I want. Because
Oh.
for two things though. One, I think it is nice that there is a ceiling in terms of quality that most streamers can hit with ease, and so the quality of a stream doesn't become a draw factor, and it's more based around like the streamer, the type of games that person's streaming, the way that he interacts with chat. The streamer himself, so to speak, is the sell of a channel. Whereas, 4 years ago, if you had a 1080p 60 stream, that was known because not that many people had it back then because you just didn't see it that often. And so it was like a draw for the stream. But it would be kind of nice if we could do 4K. You see a bunch of streamers bump up to it pretty quick, but not that many streamers could actually do it from a bit rate standpoint because that's a shit ton of bandwidth.
That'd be tough.
Yeah, so I could see both sides of that for sure, and obviously I
one
can
of
see
the-
the sides of not doing it. But
Also, JP, something else to
One
consider.
of the staffers posted something.
what do you mean?
How VPN 9 delivers value for Twitch's esports live streaming.
Right. So VP9 is another like software codec that is out there right now. H.264 is what we use on Twitch primarily, and VP9 is a different codec to put streams out there and whatnot that has its benefits. And so that'd be cool if that stuff starts coming over more frequently.
Another thing we'll have to consider, though, also, JP, is the fact that any adjustment in bandwidth is going to have to be justified, especially these days with Amazon at the helm.
Right.
Because like I mean, you're talking about going to like 1440. That would be a whole lot of extra cost that they would then have to justify with somehow bringing in people that would want to watch it, regularly. And then like that benefit would have to justify the extra bandwidth. I don't know, man. If anything, I bet they're trying to like Ron was posting. I bet they're trying to figure out how to do the same thing they can for less resources.
Totally. Yeah. That's a smart one.
Out kind of thing.
Yeah. I do wonder if they would ever do something like for I'm just trying to think of like what a big, like for the international, if they would allow that channel specifically for that event specifically to like push a 4K stream. And if they would do it on that rather than
Do a pass for it. So make it so if you wanted to watch it at 1440, maybe you had to, $1.99 or something. Like make it a tit for tat.
Yeah.
So if people were actually going to use and appreciate the 4K, then they would have to actually, they'd have to get it essentially. It wouldn't just be available to everyone all the time.
Right. That's not a bad thing for 4K because most people that would actually be able to get that with the bandwidth, with the actual 4K devices and whatnot, probably wouldn't mind shelling out $2 to watch it. Whereas
That's what I'm thinking.
yeah, the general audience would be like, I'm not paying to watch anything.
Probably
Fuck
a little
this.
bit.
Yeah. For
Oh, that's a good idea. A great suggestion.
A quick
in
question
chat.
about. Oh, go ahead.
Joke up.
I was going to say a great suggestion from chat. Attach it to Twitch Turbo. Like give a whole bunch of value to that. Absolutely. Like that's a great idea.
For sure. What were we gonna say, Zeke?
Why the fuck do I still pay for Twitch Turbo?
Do you?
No ads anywhere. It's the only reason these days, really. Because they removed
I don't know
Amazon
if that's worth it
Prime
anymore. I might just let it
ads.
go.
Yeah.
Well, careful with their new ad technology coming in. There's a good chance that ad blockers aren't going to work anymore.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
I have Twitch whitelisted.
We haven't really talked about that yet, have we? So there was this big clip going around. For those that haven't heard about this, where basically an esports guy, I won't name him just in case, brought up this part of the Twitch page that was basically designed for people that want to pay Twitch to advertise on the platform.
Oh,
and
right.
one of the features that they're showing, that Twitch is showing to advertisers, is I think it's called Sure Stream.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong there. Something like that. And basically what it is it's injecting the ad into the stream. So it is no longer an ad that plays over the it is no longer an ad that plays over the overlay. It is actually in the stream data. So yeah, Sure Stream. There it is. Yep. And yeah, this is now something that they are advertising essentially as a feature for broadcast for advertisers. Now, of course, nothing about this page shows us when it's going in or how it's going in or anything like that. It's just like a little like, here's a product we're working on. But this could be the future of ads. Eventually this could be the way they do ads. Like we don't know. They've been kind of quiet about it outside of like the stuff here. So, yeah.
So I guess like we got a new Twitch staff person that is just like posting like shit. He posted an article introducing SureStream for a better video ad experience on Twitch. Article from November 2nd, 2016.
Right. I think this is a little older, yeah. And I also think that AdBlock already figured out ways around this pretty quickly.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
The thing that I believe this guy was pinging is that it popped up on the ad products on the Twitch website. So what may have been an idea before now looks like something they're actually advertising and potentially, we don't know, of course, but potentially accepting money for at this point.
Yeah.
If it's like you can see at the top there on the left, it's actually under Home Ad Products.
Yeah.
And then SureStream. So it is now considered a product of Twitch.
Yep.
So we'll have to see where it goes.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, you can actually see all the different ad areas right here on if you're curious at all as a viewer and have always run AdBlock, this is kind of what your viewing experience would look like without it. Because you've probably never seen this before. Yeah, that's just Google Twitch advertising and it'll pull you to that page.
What is the worst use of ads on Twitch? Like as far as like, because I know what I do on purpose.
Yeah.
I broadcast for 2 hours, get up, go to the bathroom, run 3 minutes of ads, broadcast for another 3 minutes, and then 2 hours, and then the end of my show, and then as the outro.
Yeah, I mean, there's multiple
another like thing.
Yeah, there's multiple issues. I think pre-rolls. Obviously, it sucks when you're excited to click on a stream and see what's going on in the stream. You click on it, and you're immediately hit with a 30-second, 60-second ad of whatever. It also doubly sucks when that
happens all the time.
Oh yeah, well if you have pre-rolls enabled, and not if you is it Twitch Prime? Is that what you just said, Co?
No, excuse me, Twitch Turbo.
Turbo, yeah.
Bypass.
Yeah, if you have Twitch Turbo,
or
it doesn't
if
show
you're
that.
sub to the channel and they have that turned on, if they have no ads for subs turned on.
Yeah, it also doubly sucks where if someone is running ads, say they run a 3-minute block of ads, and those 6 ads are the same ad. Because they haven't sold enough ads in that region, which happens all the time. And I think another issue, which they've gotten better about, but it's one of the reasons why someone like the FCC exists in some part, is that ads always have been loud on Twitch specifically. And it's
that's forced advertising. That's television. That's like the oldest trick in the fucking
book. Yeah. It forces you to, your attention to be diverted to it because it's fucking just louder than the actual stream. Yeah, so I think those 3 things are the biggest culprit in my eyes, for sure.
Well, I don't think they should ever like do on a live stream, if you are live, they should never have pre-rolls. Like whether we have them enabled or not, they should not do that, because if it's live, you want to be there as soon as possible.
Right. But
like, I think that's dumb.
But
I really do. Like VODs, sure, fine. Pre-roll at the VODs.
I'm going to play devil's advocate.
Whatever.
Sucks for you. They got to make money to keep the fucking site running, and pre-rolls is a great way to do it. So that's why they exist in the first place.
That's one of the very few guaranteed like ad plays.
Yeah.
If you think about it, like in the long term, everything else is essentially like the caster would have to initiate it, and many casters don't run ads. They just don't run ads during their shows.
Yeah.
So, you know, and also if you think about, especially on larger channels, like those pre-rolls add up big time on channels that have lots of viewers coming through.
I said the wrong word. I didn't mean dumb. Obviously, it's not dumb. What I meant was it's shitty.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's not dumb. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to say like I don't understand why they do it. I just hate that they do it.
It's totes uncool.
that happens.
Yeah. Yeah. It is shitty without a doubt, for sure.
They should totally let viewers bank them
to watch them later.
Yeah, they should. You should be able to have like a little bucket that follows your account around, and every time you go into a channel, you get one pre-roll into that bucket. You can just skip it immediately if you want to, if something's on you really want to see. And then if you get 10 ads in your bucket, it forces you to watch 5 of them or something. And then if you want to, if there's like a lull in a stream, or you just want to, get some out of there, you could like just, or if somebody goes on break and they're running their own ads, you could be like, boom, let me watch some of the ads from my bucket so I can catch up.
Yeah. Ads on
imagine the kids sitting there like you just got a plate full of broccoli. It's like, you're not leaving until you eat all of that. You eat all of that, and then go to bed.
All these people in chat that are freaking out, like, oh, worst idea ever. The only thing this would do is make it so you don't get ads forced down your throat all the time. That's all it would do. Yeah. Like, you would get to choose when the ads run, instead of every time you go on a stream, they force them down your throat. That's the only thing it would be.
Yeah, it's a good thing. At the end of the day, someone has to make money when you're watching something on Twitch, whether it's the broadcaster, whether it's, you can't just like, it's a free service, but you gotta, there's ads that have to play, or else it's not a business and it's not something that can actually exist. So it's something to always like remember.
Oh, that's a crazy idea. Somebody in my chat just suggested use bits to skip ads.
So you're paying to skip. So then Twitch is a giant like microtransaction service.
Well, that's not that weird of an idea. People were paying for fucking Turbo to do that. I pay to skip ads.
Well, yeah. And I pay
every month.
Every so often you can watch ads for bits. So if you could watch like 200 bits worth of ads, and then every time you wanted to skip an ad, it cost you 5 bits or 3 to 5 bits, or something like that. Like that could be. I mean, Twitch would be making their money because you have to earn the bits through the ads. So I don't know.
Well, yeah,
I just want people to watch less ads.
Right. Yeah.
Well, they give you bits sometimes for an ad campaign. Like, it's like I got like a flood of like 400 bits from was it a movie or like it was like Mission Impossible or something? I don't know. I don't remember what it was, but they were giving out like, here's my 400 bits from watching this.
Oh, that was Jack Ryan.
That's what it was.
Yeah, Jack Ryan.
Oh yeah, it was our, what was it? Our whatever country you went to bits.
Yeah,
Bahrain
Yemen.
bits?
It was the Yemen bits.
Oh, Yemen
bits. Yeah.
Jesus. Yeah.
Yeah, I got a bunch of those, and so like if you could bank those, like just call them ad bits. Like that's all you get. I'll watch a whole bunch of ads right now, so I don't have to watch them later.
Yeah,
I like that. I mean, that's totally what you're saying, Ko. I kind of get it now.
Well, and here's another good example. You go into a stream, instead of an ad playing immediately, you get to watch a stream a little bit. The streamer keeps going, but you're like, oh, hey, my dog's barking, or hey, I got to use the bathroom real quick. Obviously, the stream isn't going to stop. Just run some of the ads you got to run, and then go do something, and then come back, and boom, that's less ads you don't need to watch ever.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. The point, for the record, even though my ideas are pretty dumb, the point of this is so that viewers get less ads. That's the only thing.
Or,
of course, anything to do this would mean the ad revenue people would, of course, probably be pretty frustrated with it. But
yeah,
they make enough money.
I'm sure these conversations have already happened internally, because one of the directives of last year from the CEO was to generate whatever that number was in that Business Week article. I think it was Business Week, of a shit ton more ad revenue than they currently are generating. So these conversations and many more like it have probably occurred internally. So
I wonder if giving more of an incentive to the streamer. So then it was, I mean, like giving them a better share
when they roll that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something like that. Like if you, I don't know. They tried that, I think, a little bit in a promotion, didn't they? Like if you roll ads in December, you get a better share or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That,
I'm wondering if that, like, once that like goes through and we see the revenue for that particular event or promotion,
it's a weird thing.
If it would be enough to motivate like us to do it ourselves, because I would love it if it was on us to do it ourselves 100%.
I wouldn't say that too loud, because then they're going to throw a lot of products. Do you remember Bits?
Yeah.
Do you remember how that product went? We were the mouthpiece for it.
The only big issue with Twitch trying to incentivize and encourage casters to run ads is that it goes completely counter in the current way to our own content. Like, basically, when Twitch is asking us to run ads, they're trying to get us to substitute our content for this stuff that they'd rather have the viewers watch so they can get money off it.
Right.
And granted, we get a little bit of that too, so it's good. But that's the thing. Like, I don't like the idea of Twitch trying to incentivize that, because it's a real slippery slope of getting to the point where, you know, they want us to run 3 minutes of content every hour, every 2 hours, you know, that kind of thing. And it's like, that really adds up over time. And you know, some people absolutely hate that stuff. And I don't know, man.
The converse of that would be, like, to make up for the lost revenue, they would have to take a bigger cut from us. Subwise.
Arguably.
Oh, yeah.
That's true. Now, that would be an interesting idea, to make it so casters that shows, like, instead of incentivizing us, you know, with the switch, use the carrot instead, to use an old analogy. So it'd be the kind of thing where if people did decide to run a bunch of ads on their channel, maybe they get a better split. Or maybe there's something that Twitch does on their side to say, like, okay, I see you're really trying to work with us, so we'll do something, but not taking away. Like, that's the big thing. Like, there's I don't want to think that we're getting to the point where Twitch is going to be telling people they need to run more ads, period.
Right.
And it kind of almost feels like it's sometimes where the Sure Stream thing, for instance, is kind of a step towards that. So I don't know.
What about this? How bad would it be to have, instead of pre-roll ads? Because I would hate for someone to miss something that was live and enjoy, you know, experiencing something live. When you come into the stream, there's that, you know how, like, on like cable network channels, they have that lower third of, like, tune in next week for, like, you know.
Yeah. I mean, like
Super Bowl Sunday, like, and they show, like, the football animation, you know, blah, 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 like that.
Are you going to
like,
get
when
video
you come
banners?
into the channel, I would be totally fine if there was, like, a lower third for, like, the first, like, 30 seconds to a minute advertising something.
Yeah.
That way you can see what's going on, but you still get the ad at the bottom, like, just for the first part instead of a pre-roll.
Yeah. I mean, that's basically YouTube's video banners that still exist, like the bottom. Yeah. I mean, it could,
well, I mean, okay,
there's different ways to advertise.
But what I'm saying is, like, it's one or the other. Like, that's my point. Like, would you rather have pre-rolls, or would you rather have the lower third for the first minute?
Right. I think it also comes down to, is that an effective way to actually advertise, as opposed to forcing someone to watch a 30-second ad, seeing a banner for half a second because they're scrambling to find the. Then they're going to do the whole, like, let's hide the close button. let's make it impossible to see where the actual X is here, like that type of shit, right? So Yeah. Yeah.
Well, and that's, I mean, I'm not saying like it's either one is is awesome. Like no one likes commercials. Like no one.
Yeah.
But they got, I mean, they serve a fucking purpose. Lest we forget, they serve a purpose for the greater good, meaning Twitch and our platform.
Yeah. Without a doubt.
For the most part.
Wow, they stopped vacuuming and then they immediately started back up. Without or with the conversation already occurred on better quality streams, cumulative subs, and the ad stuff. Anything else platform wise that you guys would want to see this year that they haven't already talked about necessarily?
I'd love to see more just the general continuing collection of FFZ and BTTV features get moved over to Twitch chat, like message highlighting and stuff like that. There is going to be a year, I feel, that finally Twitch chat will be decent enough to where we don't need third-party programs to make it good.
Yeah.
And I would love for that to be 2019, but I don't think it's going to be 2019.
That's such a weird thing because I think a lot of people are just like, well, why don't they just buy the guy? And it's like, probably because he makes so much money using that program and people doing the $5.99 month that Twitch doesn't want to pay him whatever that money is. Yeah, I do the same thing. I think most streamers do to get access to that stuff and more of those animated emotes on your channel. So, it's going to be the case of like, what can we rip off from this without pissing the community off because we're blatantly stealing from this thing without actually having to buy him outright? Because that's going to be a pretty big spend, I would think, with how much money that he, I guess, could be making from that. I don't actually know if it's that super profitable, but I would think it is. But I'd love to see all that stuff for sure.
Yeah.
Wow, what a chat right now. What a chat.
Yeah, those are the greatest right there. I love them.
Just quality of life Twitch chat options would be great. What are you shaking your head about?
Just chat.
Oh,
chat.
Just doing the better Twitch emotes and FFZ emotes and whatnot.
They're great.
Yeah.
I love the frequency.
Pepe invasion.
Yeah, I love the frequency as well. Like I don't know how people keep up with that stuff in terms of the day-to-day new emotes that spring up in some of these bigger channels, because it's this 24 hours a day in some of those bigger channels. So it's kind of crazy. Oh, you're good. I got a vacuum. You got that going on. We'll get Zeke an extra audio here in a bit. It's 2019.
I'll just open the window.
Yeah, just open the window. We're just trying new stuff.
Yeah, there you
go. So yeah, I think a better chat is definitely something they could do, but it's going to ultimately be like, we're just going to steal from this guy because fuck it, right?
Well, it's so funky because I talked to mods who are like, they mod a lot, meaning or they mod one channel, but they do it on a very regular basis. And talking to them about like, oh, I saw you did this thing in chat. Like, how do you do that? And they went through this entire thing like, oh, I use FFZ and I do this and I do this. And it's such a convenience now for them to have all those options and to make their lives so much easier so they can see, or they can more effectively mod a big channel.
Yeah. I mean, we have those mod tools coming from Twitch, right? That was something that they talked about at TwitchCon. So we'll see when all that stuff actually gets added. I don't remember the specifics of it off the top of my head. I'd have to open up the blog post, but there are more tools coming for that.
Okay.
That hopefully will help with that. And I'm sure they got a shit ton of feedback so that whatever it was that they announced at TwitchCon, broadcasters and mods alike both said like, yeah, but you should also add XYZ. So hopefully that comes what we want from it.
Do they already have those mod helper tools? Like when you click on somebody's name, can you see like how many times they've been banned or timed out and shit like that? Do they already have that? Is it already implemented?
I don't think that's implemented
with comments because
yeah.
I don't think that's implemented from Twitch.
No, it's not in yet. I don't think.
Yeah.
Okay.
Obviously,
I can't wait for that. That's gonna be so cool, especially my channel because my fucking mods are just as snarky and smart assy as I am. So I'm sure like I'll see like timeout comments like this dude was a tool. I timed him out for no reason, you know, shit like that.
He is a penis.
Yeah.
Then another mod sees that and goes, "Oh, he's a penis." Oh, okay, well, bandstands.
Alternatively,
I timed him out because I could smell him through the internet.
I hope that you can also see the chat logs for what a person was timed out within Twitch rather than on an external site. 'Cause that's always fun to just be able to pull that up at a whim. Be like, what was this person? Oh, okay. You called that other guy up. All right. Well, we're going to keep that.
we have an unban page, ko.tv/unban. And you can go there and you can put in a request for an unban with like a message. And what's funny is that a lot of people will do that. They'll go there and be like, hey, you know, I'm banned and I have no idea why. I'm a really nice person and it's the first time I've ever spoken in your chat. You know, please unban me when you can. I'm sure it was just a mistake. And then they submit that.
Yeah.
And then when we get the request, it automatically comes with the last 5 things they said in chat.
Yep.
And it's kind of like, okay, now I appreciate your request to get unbanned and I'm welcome to Twitch as your first time. Are you aware that you're a racist asshole when you don't know it?
Yeah.
Did you mean to call the mods the N-word? Or did that just like, was that before you got to the first time? Okay, great.
Well, no, my brother was using that account, Mr. Co-Carnage. So yeah, I was not aware. If you can go on Bama. Yeah.
Well, welcome to the community.
Welcome to the community. Yeah. All right. Well, I think that's we've somehow gabbed about this for an hour. What about in general games? Anything outside of Twitch that you guys are? I mean, I think we all want games to be good because that benefits us in terms of being able to stream good games as well as play good games.
Let's just do real quick, JP. You can start. What are the big 5 games you're looking forward to in 2019?
Kingdom Hearts, right at the in front by a mile. Then I have to think. I really have to think after that. Yeah, not because I'm not excited for games, but because I just don't know what's coming out. If Last of Us is coming out this year, obviously that's I think on that list.
Any hype for Division 2?
I think it's the type of hype where I need to see more to become hyped for it. But in a general sense, I'm excited for. I want like the next multiplayer game to play with other. Like I want the next multiplayer game so bad because I was watching Max play Ark and thinking, you know, this doesn't actually look too bad. Maybe Atlas. I meant Atlas. Maybe this doesn't look. Maybe I should.
Same thing.
But yeah,
Arkless.
Maybe I should play some Atlas. Then I was like, nope. I'm closing the stream. So whatever that is, whether it's an Anthem or something that comes out of early access or whatever, that would be what I'm excited for.
Hero.
Yes. Yeah, Game Informer actually just started like their month-long coverage of that. I was checking out some of that footage yesterday and some of the
that too.
The stuff that's in it. That looks like Neo, but made by the Dark Souls team, which is a weird thing to say. And then Neo 2.
Quick bit of news I just remembered, by the way, a little bit of a tangent, and I'll let you keep going here. But Division 2 today announced that they are bypassing the Steam store.
I saw that
in lieu of the Epic store.
Yeah. You're going to see a lot of that, I think.
Yeah, that's kind of big, man. That's kind of big. Like, there's going to be a lot of people playing Division 2. Think whatever you want about Division. There's going to be a huge amount of people checking out Division 2. So that's a big loss for Steam. That is millions and millions and millions of dollars lost for Steam.
Yeah. I wonder what behind the closed door, what that, if that's an extra cut, if that's just a better cut, if that's money that exchange hands to get that deal, like an exclusivity deal, when it comes to where it actually is being launched on. Yeah, I think you're going to see a lot of that, and I'm real curious to see how much money Epic is going to be throwing at the Ubisofts and whatnot for that type of stuff.
That's a really good question. Chat is bringing up the very good point that even if you get it on Steam, it still goes through Uplay. So I wonder if you're going to buy it on the Epic store and then it's going to open up in Uplay.
Probably. Yeah,
probably is.
Someone also brought up the point of no refunds on the Epic Game Store. I wonder if that actually is a big hit for developers with the 2-hour limit on Steam.
Like, you can't even submit a refund on the Epic Store?
Not in the way that you can on Steam with like the whole 2-hour rule limit. Granted, I've never downloaded it, so chat will have to correct me there. But I don't think you can actually do like the 2 hour, the effective 2 hour trial with a refund before that limit is hit.
Oh, people are saying that's illegal in the EU. I wonder how that works. So maybe you just have to like submit it via email, or maybe there's some convoluted way to do it, and they just aren't public about it.
Maybe, yeah. It's easy on the Steam store, is what I'm getting at, though. So much so
Can you
that a lot
refund
of
GOG?
people,
Yes. Yeah, you can get refunds on GOG.
so much so that a lot of people will just buy a game, try it for an hour. Streamers specifically will buy a game, try it for an hour on stream, and then refund it. So, with a couple.
Has Uplay gotten any better? Because I haven't used it in a while.
Yeah,
like I think the last time I used it was Far Cry 5, and it was still kind of shitty
since Far Cry.
Like, trying to get like people hooked up, like because we tried the Ubisoft thing when we did Star Trek. Like we tried to hook up and it was fucking tough and shit like that.
Well,
is Uplay still garbage, or is it okay? Has it gotten better?
I think that was more of a case of like Uplay going through the PSN network type deal to get everyone, with a PC player being one of those. Like that's just a fucking crazy nonsense thing to begin with. But Uplay specifically, it's not that bad. Like it's
okay. And with launchers,
okay.
It's important to mention there's two different states that launchers go through. The first one is the second one is if they're good. Like, is it a good launcher? But the first one is does it actually work? Is it functional? And like as Origin showed us when it came out, you can make a launcher that doesn't work. Like it just like your games won't install right. They mess up. It doesn't do updates properly. Uplay is a functional launcher. It at this stage it works. Is it one of the better ones? It's probably around the middle of the pack, but it works. And it's been like, I don't know about you guys, it's been okay. And Origin is actually a lot better these days. But yeah, at the beginning, man, it was rough.
What is the best game launcher? Is it Blizzard? Or like
Steam? Still, I think
the most developed
Steam, you think?
by far.
Yeah.
It may not be the best, but it's the most developed. It's been around the longest. It has the most features. It has the community stuff. It has the curator system. Has the refund stuff in place.
But what I'm saying is, what is like? You said it might not be the best, and what might be the best? Then that's what I'm asking.
The best is going to be the like Blizzard is making really good motions, believe it or not, on their launcher. Like the way that they're tying everything in together is very cool. But the best one is probably not there yet, just because Steam is kind of like the World of Warcraft to MMOs to deployment platforms. Like Steam is so far ahead of all the other platforms that it's just you can't really compete with them yet. But the thing is where Steam's the most vulnerable, which is their split. Now we see companies like Epic Games really capitalizing on that. And this is going to be when we start seeing Steam start getting chipped away in terms of being like the only top deployment platform. So in a couple years' time, we may not be all talking about Steam like we do these days. There may be a much better option that has a better split and is more feature rich. All it would take is Origin, EA, or Ubisoft to really spend time developing their system, get in a good review system, get in a good community system, like really make it work and make it light on resources. And they could easily directly compete with Steam, but just none of them are really doing that right now. They're happy to be functional.
Yeah. Does Steam have like a non-compete? Like where if you're allowed to put stuff on Steam?
I'm not sure.
Something like that.
You can. I mean, there's stuff on Steam and GOG all the time.
Yeah, and there's overlap on like, Uplay. You can buy Assassin's Creed on Steam, but it still loads through Uplay.
Subnautica was just free on Epic Games, while you could buy it on Steam.
Yeah, I think also you have to remember that scope is important when talking about launchers, because the Blizzard launcher serves Blizzard, and it's Activision Blizzard really, and it's like what 7 or 8 games. Steam is servicing like thousands of new games a day, so they're completely different from one another in scope, and so that's hard to compare.
I'm wondering is if like a Uplay or an Epic or something like that, like if they opened up and made it viable for indies, like, and I'm talking like super indie. I'm talking like one person you've never heard of made a game, which is what you can get on Steam right now. You can get a game that no one's ever fucking heard of. You might be the only one buying it, like that kind of shit.
Yeah, it's tough, right? Because there has to be incentive, and there has to. I think you see Steam looking at and trying to fix all of the issues with having a platform like that, with the review system and the fact that there's really not a barrier of entry on Steam. You can throw up a fucking paid asset game for $5 and say, "Hey, this is my new game," and Steam's like, good job. And they post it. So it's yeah. The reason for that is also because they've just been around so long and it's such an established thing. Whereas kind of like what Ko was saying, exactly what Ko was saying. It's going to take time for that.
Yeah. I mean, people are saying Discord, and I mean, I think Discord has made it's like enough of a reputation. Every streamer I know has Discord, either uses it on a daily basis or at least on a semi-regular basis. I know I do, and I know most. I would venture a guess to say at least 80% of streamers regularly use Discord.
Yeah.
So their launcher, I mean, they might have a chance.
Yeah, I just got a Mr. Twitch just sent me an email and says the Twitch store is making leaps and bounds in the past year, and all broadcasters should use that. So I just throwing that out there. You should check.
Well, he's got to say that. I mean, was that from John Twitch or like his nephew that they just hired?
It says Mr. Twitch. Could be either one. I'll have to go in and look a little bit later. So, you know.
I think it's probably his nephew because he's put Mr. to sound more important. I bet.
Maybe so.
Wait,
yeah.
Didn't they? What did they turn off on that app recently? Oh, that was the calls and stuff.
Yeah, that's Randy Twitch. That's not John.
Yeah, that was. Yeah, they got rid of the curse stuff, right? Code. Is it still?
No, I thought they got rid of the.
They sold curse, I think.
Was it? I thought it was voice. It was a voice and audio or video chat.
That sounds.
I don't remember. Like they put something out and they were like it's getting. And I was kind of curious. Is that like the beginning of the end? Like are they phasing it out? Is what I thought maybe they were doing. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, Curse got bought by Fandom, which was that's the overarching thing. But I'm trying to find the actual news bit on that because I don't remember off the top of my head exactly what they took out. But I'm failing to do so, so I'm just gonna wait till chat either corrects me on that or we move on. Anyways, to circle back to the game stuff,
no shit, right?
Yeah, Kingdom Hearts. I'm curious about Anthem, Sekiro for
Days
sure.
Gone. I'm excited to see what they do with Days Gone.
I think I've
Fighters and zombies. Come on,
I've played that game. Not that game, but I've played that game. Like I've played it.
I might be a little bit more excited about it because I actually I talked to the guys, like some of the dev team at E3, and they felt like bikers. Like they behaved and looked like they were fucking they ride motorcycles. So it seems like it's not going to be like authenticity is you can like when you're playing the game, a lot of times you can feel how authentic it is, even if you don't understand the subject matter yourself. Like even if you've never been on a motorcycle, if you talk to someone who has been, you can like get that impression. Like, oh, this guy's been on the road a lot, like that kind of thing. And that's what it felt like. So I'm really hopeful that this is going to be a good game. And it looks cool. It's like Sons of Anarchy mixed with name a zombie game.
That's one of those things, and it's kind of circling back to what we opened the show with. But that's one of those things where I've seen so much of that game. It's so many different events, and it's gotten pushed back 3 times now. That alone makes me nervous for the quality of it. But it's not saying I'm not going to check it out. Like I'm still curious to see what it's all about.
There have been games that have been pushed back that have been good though. Like just look at Duke Nukem Forever. Just kidding.
Alien, right? Yeah, exactly.
Oh, and then we've got okay. Any come on, please, one of you save me here. Any Metro hype?
I'm excited. Yes, I enjoyed the other 2 Metros. I don't know if I'm as much as if I'm as excited as you because I know you're super excited for it. But those other games were not bad games. In fact, they were quite good. I enjoyed them. They funny enough, they straddle the line for like being scary enough for me to get through them, but not being too scary that I won't play them. There's a couple moments in there when you're wandering through the underground world or whatever, and it's kind of like, fuck, this is kind of creepy, man. This is
that's the Metro part of it.
Yeah, it's kind of like, fuck, man. And then there's like the tension of like, well, I've only got 5 bullets left, but that's my like. I like the systems, I guess, is ultimately what I'm trying to say in that game. Enough to be excited for it. Yeah, and it also. I'm also excited for that game because I played Battlefield 5 and it's whatever, but the RTX portion of Battlefield 5, I don't know if you guys ever turned that on and saw kind of like what that does. But seeing RTX in Battlefield 5, I want to see what that looks like in Metro, because that's one of the games that they've touted will use it and will make use of it, whereas RTX just hasn't been used anywhere else. So if they get it to work in there, that might be the first game where I'm like, yep, you got to play this with RTX. It's crazy. And
for anyone wondering, I actually could hear the money going into JP's account when he said that. Like I'd say he probably did too.
I hope I'm getting paid for that because the RTX stuff is actually
very faintly. You can hear this little like the sound of like coins. Like,
dude, First and foremost, I love new tech. I was the first person, or not the first person, but I was the first person that I know to like tout G-Sync and how fucking amazing it was. And so anytime there's like something like that, I'm gonna go check it out and see if it's worth it. The Battlefield stuff, granted, it ran like shit at the time. I think it's gotten better. I hope it's gotten better because it was like 40 FPS.
Yeah, I hope it's gotten better.
Yeah, it was like 40 FPS when it launched. If that's in like a single player game, it's fucking impressive technology. Like you can't deny the fact that it's super impressive. We'll see how it works in actual use in Metro.
So a little bit more in your wheelhouse. How you feeling about Neo 2?
Neo 1 was all right. I didn't necessarily like the mission structure. I prefer a Dark Souls where you're always in that world, rather than like Neo where you'll do a level and then like come back to a mission board and like choose the mission. I necessarily didn't like that. But the actual like second to second gameplay was fucking awesome in Neo. I love that portion of it. I just hated being taken out of it. And there's also like I guess it's true in Dark Souls where there's like the farming aspect to it where you'll kill a mob or a boss. Well, a mob specifically in Dark Souls over and over to try to get him to drop an item. That happened in Neo more than I would like. I farmed that fucking bridge boss for like 3 hours trying to get a mace off of him. So not the biggest fan of that. But if they refine some of that stuff, I'm definitely excited for Neo 2 just for the gameplay. Curious to see what else they're changing to that formula. Yeah. Anything that's actually a good competitor to Dark Souls, obviously I'm on board.
I love the gameplay and the challenge of Neo. I really, really did. But maybe you could help me describe why it didn't grab me as much as like, you know, it's comparable Dark Souls. Like, honestly, why would Dark Souls grab me more than Neo did? Because we compare Dark Souls to a lot of shit, of course, but this is actually like totally comparable.
I think JP just nailed it. And the reason being is because like in Dark Souls, like you live in the world. So there's no real ending. It's like you're always moving forward. You always have a place to go, a place to look for. And there's never like really a feeling of finality. Where in Neo, you are doing beginning to end missions over and over and over and over. And the only overall story is when you choose to connect those very short beginning to end missions. So it's a lot easier to get to the end of a mission and be like, okay, I'm done. Like, do I want to start a whole new mission? Where like in Dark Souls, you're always just like, go forward, go forward, go forward, keep going, keep going. Yeah. Neo's like, start, stop, start, stop, start, stop. And those are two completely different ways to enjoy a game.
Yeah, you know, putting it that way, like, if you're good enough in Dark Souls, you don't have to stop. Like, if you play absolutely perfectly, or you're Taz or whatever, like a Taz bot, you can go all the way from beginning to end of Dark Souls without ever shutting off the like thing. You can go anywhere.
Like speedrunners, absolutely, yeah. But like, and also in Neo, it's much more like you kind of need to, like, for instance, for me personally, the mission structure in Neo, I found it different. I didn't find it better or worse than Dark Souls. It was different. But for me, I was like super attached to the story. I loved seeing like where everything was going. So the mission structure for me, it didn't really make any difference because in my mind, I was always going forward. But in terms of like the gameplay, and especially streaming it, it's a completely different feeling from something like Dark Souls.
Yeah. Someone also brought up the level design
the story and
better.
The story, the environment, and that kind of stuff, it didn't intrigue me as much because it was based on reality. Whereas Dark Souls was total. No. But what I'm saying is, it's like
reality somewhat.
No, but it had like a samurai.
There was a dragon or two.
Feeling to it.
Sure, yeah.
With like real places that you might
more historically accurate. Yes.
Sure. More realistic. Whereas the Souls games is a completely made up world, and
it's fantasy. Arguably.
Yeah, that probably appeals to me a lot more. I would imagine.
And a good point to actually to talk about what you're talking about. There were historical figures in Neo.
Right.
There were actual historical figures in Neo. You were in historical places with accurate architecture. So yeah, I totally see what you're saying.
Yeah. With that in mind, Zeke, Sekiro might not be up your alley because I think it's more.
Or that other. What's the other one? Ghost of Tsushima.
Ghost of Tsushima. Yeah.
So that also is kind of like a realistic, more realistic style game.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I saw both of those. One of them though is really, I mean, it looks like samurai-ish, but I believe one of them is a completely fantastical made-up place.
I think that's Ghosts of Tsushima is supposed to be fantastical made-up place. I mean, I think they're both fantastical
and the pink robot.
Yeah, Sashimi and the pink robot. Yeah.
Hey, real quick, is Ghost of Tsushima this year?
I don't know if there's actually a date or a year tied to it just yet. It's one of those ones where it's like they announced it and they haven't actually said anything else about it since E3. So, any other games that you guys are super stoked about this year, particularly?
Well,
Psychonauts 2.
We already talked about on the GOTY show.
Yeah,
Outer Worlds, man. I have such high hope for Outer Worlds.
I think a lot of people do. I don't think you're alone in that. What were you saying, Zeke?
Psychonauts.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Really excited to see what I like the preview. I like where their head's at, and if it's anything like the first one is a fucking classic, and you can go back and play it today, and it's still just as good. Like I thought it was going to be more cutesy and that kind of stuff than it actually turned out being. I was very, very pleasantly surprised when I picked it, because I didn't pick it up when it came out. Like I picked it up in the last while streaming on Twitch.
Yeah. Chat's nailing some ones that I just forgot. Rage 2 fucking looks awesome. Doom. Here's the thing with Doom. I didn't actually play Doom I didn't play till much later after it came out. And now after like playing it, like I'm there day one for Doom 2. It looks great. It just looks super fun.
Looks so good, dude.
Yeah.
I'm so hyped for those. Yeah, and then just at the end of this month, we got the RE2 remake. That's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah. I'm curious to see how that actually, because that's a full remake, right? Like that's ground up remake.
It is a remake. Yeah, it is not a remaster. It is a remake.
Yeah.
So.
I have very fond memories of watching my brother play that while I sat there and ate apple strudel bites at like the age of 13 or whatever. So if it can actually do a good job of recapturing that stuff, it'll be fun.
And I can't believe I forgot this, especially because one of my favorite writers of all time is directly affiliated with the project. Dying Light 2. Dying Light 2 could turn out to be a huge sleeper hit. Like what they're trying to do with the main story, they're basically making this crazy multi-branch main story that just gets bigger and wider as you get towards the end of the game. Oh man, like yeah. I really hope that no, did I say Brian Fargo? I didn't mean Brian Fargo.
You meant Chris Avellone.
Chris Avellone. But yeah, he does really crazy cool stuff. His last kind of big one being the most recent Planescape game, or Torment, I should say. Yeah. But yeah, it's gonna be crazy, man. It's gonna be really good. I'm hoping.
Yeah.
Skull and Bones is this year too, isn't it?
Really? Huh.
Yeah, I think so.
Chris,
really? Is it like more pirate stuff? Because
look,
I can't wait for Skull and Bones. Like I can't wait for it. I
hope it's good.
Yeah, I mean, that stuff is so much.
Well, here's the thing: I say I hope it's good, but it's kind of funny because Ubisoft works on their games so fucking much post-launch that if it doesn't launch good, they'll probably work on it enough to where it's actually it's one of those games where it's like, oh yeah, you should go back and check it out because they patched it 70 billion times and now it's a pretty good game. They've refined it and turned out pretty all right. I think my MMO fix this year will be the new Final Fantasy 14 expansion that I think is coming out this fall or this summer or something like that. So that's my MMO fill-in for the year, which I'll probably jump into, which I think would probably round out my top 5 for that.
I think I'm probably the only person excited for MechWarrior 5, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I'd say that. Yeah.
What was the game that was this year?
What?
What was the game that was last year that you really
BattleTech?
BattleTech, sorry.
BattleTech is the XCOM BattleTech game, and MechWarrior 5 is the simulation where you're actually doing all the fun mech stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Although funny enough, MechWarrior 5 is like copying BattleTech almost completely in terms of the meta, which is kind of hilarious. So in BattleTech, you are in a mercenary company that has been hired by a local leader to then do this big story quest with them, and you move around with your mercenary band and you're hiring more mercs and fixing up your mercs and all that kind of stuff. MechWarrior 5 is basically the exact same thing. You're a mercenary outfit that has been hired by a local overlord to have a main story mission, and you have missions and you boost up your mech team and you bring in new mechs, and it's like the exact same metagame, just completely different ways to actually play the game. It should be interesting.
Now,
it'd be fun. They're both going to be
VR.
So MechWarrior 5, I mean, it's fine. They're copying. Hell, the older MechWarriors were pretty much the same too. So
yeah,
it's just kind of MechWarrior.
Yeah.
Is it going to be VR? I want it to be VR.
I have no idea.
I want it to be VR so bad. I want to be inside of the mech and doing this shit, and I want to feel like I'm huge and I'm controlling this fucking thing like robot jocks, motherfucker, crash and burn.
Hell yeah, dude! I gotta say, to this day, one of the best VR experiences I ever had. Straight up Elite Dangerous. When you're sitting in a spaceship and you can look in a dogfight behind you at the ships and stuff, you go really fast past a ship and you just track it with your head the whole time.
Yeah,
that is an amazing feeling in VR. And then you turn your ship to orient with it. It's so cool.
To jump back to the MechWarrior the IP is MechWarrior, right? That is an IP.
I believe the IP is actually BattleTech, and then Mech Warriors are the people that drive the mechs in the BattleTech universe.
Was BattleTech the game that came out last year and MechWarrior, are those under the same franchise?
I think they're under the same IP license, if I'm not mistaken. BattleTech was Weeby Hairbrain Studios, a great company. And then the new guys are the people that make MechWarrior Online. They're doing a standalone. Okay. So I want to say it's not Piranha Bytes. I think it was maybe Piranha or something. I'm not sure. I don't play MechWarrior Online, so I'm not sure. But yeah, I believe it's the same IP with 2 different development teams making the 2 different games.
And then I can Google this, but who owns the MechWarrior IP? Is that Games Workshop or is that someone else?
I want to say, is it? I think it's the BattleTech IP. Launched by Fast Corporation, acquired by WizKids, and since owned by Tops.
Huh.
Wow, Tops? I haven't heard that name in a long time. Yeah, I'm honestly not sure. Maybe someone in chat knows more.
I just didn't know if it was kind of the same thing with the Warhammer IP, where that just got tossed to a billion different developers, and we saw mobile games and other type of games come out the past couple
Total
years.
Wars and Vermintide and about 1 billion 40K games. Unfortunately, that most of them flew under the radar.
Yeah, that
shotgun approach didn't work, man. It's really sad because it's such a cool IP.
It really is. Yeah. Yeah. You got kind of a lot of mediocre games, whereas instead of one.
A lot of games they just didn't put enough attention and time into promoting or making. And it just had this flood of potentially interesting games just meander on by all the gamers, and none of them really stuck.
Yeah. I think Total War Warhammer and Vermintide, I think they both sold pretty well though.
Those were the 2 big ones. Yeah. Unfortunately, all the ones that went under the radar were 40K instead of traditional. So it's that's what kind of sucked. Because I personally, I'm a 40K guy. I love the Warhammer 40K universe. Don't get me wrong, the old one's cool too. But yeah, it was really. I want to see a Total War 40K.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
That'd be amazing.
It would have to be. Have they ever done anything like space battle-y though? Because when
they did have this game come out called, I think it was called Battlefleet Gothic. or something. It seemed like a really cool idea. Weirdly enough, I never played it. But I did have some people in my community tell me it was a pretty cool game. Like they said it was pretty fun. Oh, I'm sorry. What is it called? Gothic Armada? Yeah. Cool. Okay.
Oh, Gothic Armada 2 comes out apparently this month. Another game I've
That
never
name-
heard of.
Oh my lord! I remember doing a Dawn of War promo thing
For Dawn of
at
War
a
3?
at an E3. Was it Dawn of War 3? That game came out, didn't it?
Yeah, it did not do well. Yeah. And Control is actually, I think, a big part of their push as well, and I don't think it did that well.
Yeah.
Yeah. They were trying
That's
to push like multiplayer and make it a little bit competitive as well, so that's always tough. That's always tough.
Oh wow! A lot of people in chat saying Dawn of War 3 was terrible. Oh, that's too bad.
I definitely didn't touch it, so I don't have any thoughts on
I
it.
was looking forward to it. It went right under my radar. I guess I was just doing something else at the time.
Yeah. Zeke, what was your elation at?
I'm excited to see what happens with the former producer from Castlevania with Bloodstained, Ritual of the Night.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to a new Castlevania, man. I think that'd be fucking awesome.
That's one of those ones where
And it's not Castlevania, but it's from the same guy, and hopefully, yeah, dude.
Yeah, that's one of those ones where it's like Days Gone, where like I've seen the stuff that it's put out, and it didn't grab me from what is out there. So I hope that that's the type of situation where the game comes out, I'm like, all right, this looks fucking cool. I'm into it. We'll see.
I hate mentioning someone, and then immediately someone's like, "Looks rough, dude." I'm like, "Oh no, please, no, come on."
Yeah, but again, I'm looking at like Kickstarter development videos, not final product. So who fucking knows?
Sure.
Yeah. Go. What was that?
I feel remiss that I must mention that apparently, according to my chat, I did stream Dawn of War 3. I just forgot about it.
Well, Dawn of War 3
Great
sure did
game.
well.
I guess it didn't leave too much of an impact.
Hold on. Now this would make it even sweeter. Did they pay you?
Yeah, was it sponsored?
No. Well, I did a promo stream at PAX just because I wanted to check the game out because I was a Dawn of War fan, and then I sort of slightly remember maybe playing a little bit when it came out. I don't remember why I stopped playing it. Really enough, I don't even remember if I had fun or not. I guess I didn't.
Yeah, not enough fun to remember it at least.
Yeah. Wow.
Well, that happens.
Is Doom Eternal coming out? We talk about that?
Doom Eternal is Doom 2.
Doom 2, yeah.
Funny
Okay.
story.
Although Doom 2 is Doom 2, so we have to call it Doom Eternal, really.
Yeah,
but-
well, no, here's the thing. They had so much trouble with the most recent Doom being called Doom. They had so much trouble with their retailers, with people getting the game confused,
Oh, yeah.
that they said never again. So Doom Eternal is Doom 2 in every way, shape, and form. They just refuse to call it Doom 2.
Good. I hope that
So,
I hope that stuff, just like Battlefield, where they're like, oh yeah, this is Battlefield 1. It's like, what the?
Yeah.
What?
So ridiculous.
Stop. Stop that nonsense.
Battlefield 5, this is obviously 1.5.
Yeah. There's a reason that Final Fantasy is on 15. All right. It's because they just moved forward in a linear fashion. So do that. Gee, well, kind of. They had some offsite, but yeah. Just move forward. Gamers don't give a shit about the number attached to it. I'm sure your marketing people do, but for the most part, people
Because it
don't care.
says there is no Battlefield 5. It's V. That's even worse. What did they switch from letters to numbers to letters and just like let's go with it at the end of the alphabet? Like that's even worse.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, actually, that's right. Why the fuck did they go to that weird? Why not just put a 5 there? They put a Roman numeral next to it, huh? Jesus.
People aren't confused enough, JP. They need to just kick it over the edge a little bit.
Dumb. Yeah, that's real dumb. Yeah.
New Ori for anybody who loved the first one.
I am
That's
excited for
gonna
that. That game's gorgeous.
Yeah.
First
I
one
actually
was
made-
gorgeous. You what?
I said it may actually make me finish the first one.
Oh, you didn't finish it? Yeah. That was one of those games where I actually couldn't put down because the platform. It's like Celeste, where the platforming grabbed me so much that I was like, well, let's just continue all the way to the end and just continue seeing where this goes. I think I might have finished that in 1 or 2 sittings. It was good. Anything else, Zeke? Are you looking at a list?
Yeah, I'm kind of going through a list and seeing like what I would be hype about. There's something on this list that I just never heard of until just now. Sable. It's a new indie game with like a comic book art style.
Let me. Oh, this was it.
It was at E3. I must have missed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was announced at E3.
Oh.
Doesn't that have a big developer tied to it or something? A big indie dev? No, maybe not. It's Shedworks. I don't know if they've done anything before that.
I'll leave that tab open. I want to check that out for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember we talked about... Rami knew a lot about this game on our E3 coverage, for sure.
Wait a fucking minute. Spelunky is getting a 2 this year? What?
Hey, you didn't know
People
that?
still play Spelunky. Yeah, Spelunky's actually it has a pretty good little community that still play it. The dailies and everything. Like hell, even Lethal Frag still streams it every so often.
Yeah.
How the fuck did I not know that? Spelunky was fucking huge on Twitch
I don't know.
for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
It was the new Binding of Isaac for a while.
Yeah.
Although, yeah, arguably that's anyway.
That's a
felt like
whole
a real
nother
person.
segment. Yeah, that's a whole
Yeah.
other segment. Yep. Yep. All right. Well,
Yeah,
it'll
that's
be a
about
good
it.
year. I think that we only know really kind of the first 5-6 months of definitive game releases right now. I'm sure there's going to be some stuff that pops up towards the end of the year that's not out
And
there
gets
yet.
pushed back.
Yeah, then gets pushed back. Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, 2018 though was fucking phenomenal for games.
It was a good year.
Like it's been the would I be out of my mind if I said it was the best year in like the last 5 for video game releases?
2017 was also pretty good.
2017, in my opinion, was probably better.
They were both good years. It's one of those things where you start to wonder, like, all right, is this the off year? Is this the year where no studio is actually putting something out besides like a handful of them?
For me personally, man, this was like the year of unfinished. Like there were so many games this year that only needed a few more months cook time that were released early, and that happened like so often this year. I don't know what I'm really hoping 2019 is a little bit better about it, to be honest, because yeah, the last like pretty much end of September to January 1st was pretty bumpy.
Yeah.
The only reason why I say that is because I remember feeling like when I was making the 10 games of the year list, that I remember feeling like 2017 was a lot easier to make that list than it was this year, because there was like so many great games, like towards, maybe I'm just remembering it because like so many great games in like November and December, like just at the end of the year, just all kind of piled on each other.
Yeah. I mean,
I remember going through it and going like, fuck, this is tough, man. Tough to make my top 10. And last year didn't seem like that.
I think that's from, well, obviously that's gamer to gamer, right? So there's not a definitive answer there. 2017 versus 2018, et cetera. I think we should make sure Co understands that early access is a thing, and you're probably going to see more of that this year. There's probably going to be a bunch of stuff that comes out that's not really ready, but you know, it is what it is. It is what it is.
Or you know, we could all just pull Bethesda's and release $60 products as, you know, finished games that are actually early access.
Hey man, people bought it. That's the issue. People bought it.
Shut up.
We're the three of us bought it, so fuck us, right?
It's very much like Tommy Boy. It's like, if you want me to take a dump in a box and market Bethesda, I can do that for you. Like,
It's okay, they already did.
Get me.
Yeah. Yikes. I mean, fuck, Atlas. Is Atlas still in the top 10 list on Steam? I bet you it is. Let me open this up.
Yeah.
Uh,
This will be the year that lever action rifles finally get fixed, though.
7.
So, hey,
7.
Little small blessings. It only took them since Fallout 4 came out, but hey, that's
Jesus.
cool.
All right.
It's gonna happen.
Well, let's take a break. We'll come back and
then we get
actually talk about what we were going to talk about until this all happened, which is great. It's great. I don't know if we would have filled. So, starting the year off strong with filler content. We'll see what happens after this. We got Kingdom
filler.
Hearts. It's good filler. I'll classify it as that.
I think it was an engaging conversation. Like,
Yeah, it was good. I'm happy it happened. I'm not like, fucking way to just derail the show for an hour and a half, Zeke. You fuck Jesus. Fucking can't do
That's
it.
unfortunate. That's what I was thinking.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah,
All right.
it's okay. But we have balance on this show.
Yeah, it's all right. We'll talk Kingdom Hearts after this, and Zeke can just wander off into the just stare at spaces in his room.
I won't be playing Magic or looking at my decks at all.
Okay.
Promise.
All right. Don't look at your deck. Don't look
Won't.
at your deck. I know.
I'm not gonna play with my deck.
Keep your hand off your deck.
Dude, I like play with it like all day.
Look,
Like when I'm watching AGDQ, when I'm eating dinner, I'm just playing with my deck all day.
Okay.
I don't need to handle it, and I don't want to make any commentary on how good your deck is, but I just want to take a little look at it.
Man, I play with it so much, it's black and blue.
Really? See, most of my deck is just blood red.
Yeah.
It's just red. You got a red aggro deck?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine's pretty white most of the time.
You got the white weenie? Okay.
Yeah. I played the white weenie.
Okay.
Which is funny, not only because of one thing, but also because I actually did play the white weenie deck when I played Magic. So it's cool.
Back in the day, straight black deck for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I had my nightmares and my singer vampires, and oh man, it was. Oh wait, are we still making dick comments, or are we actually talking Magic?
I don't know. Let's just
I controlled it so much it turned blue. That's it. I'm done.
Let's just end this. Let's end this on an awkward silence, and we'll just fade out the break.